Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm just going to be giving you a brief overview of my experience with the GL-iNet AX Slate travel router. Basically, in the last video, I went over the initial startup and kind of the unboxing of this travel router that I got. I told you guys I was on vacation. Well, back from vacation, so now I can give you kind of my thoughts about this product. I have been super busy, so I figured I'd put a quick, less than 5 minute video out on just this review. That way I can at least put some content out there now that I'm back, and unfortunately just ran out of time to put content out because of getting back in the swing of things. You know how things go when you get back from vacation. You're in vacation mode and you don't really want to work too hard. You don't want to move very fast. So that's the that's the mode I'm in. So initial thoughts. So traveling, again, it's a pretty small, compact router. So putting it into any of my carry-on bags, I only do carry-on luggage, was a no-brainer. It's not much bigger than a Raspberry Pi that I was carrying anyways. So fitting it in my bag, no big deal. Getting through TSA, they didn't say anything. I didn't take this one out of my bag, so it's like laptops and electronics. I just kept it in my bag. Nobody said anything to me on the way to and from my destination. So just getting it on the flight and out into my vacation was pretty easy. The overall setup once I was at my destination was relatively quick, simple. Just plug it in and everything that we set up in the last video was already there, so I could just log in on my phone to the internet and then turn on the tunnel, and away we went, right? So I was able to access all my files from home. No real issues there. Take that back. One thing that I did realize was the IP address that I set for my WireGuard tunnel was conflicting with my UNRAID's Docker container subnet. So the Docker container subnets, which is completely out of the realm from the normal people. Like the normal people aren't going to care about this, but the UNRAID Docker subnets are 172.17, 172.18/16s. So I always use, for my travel routers, I use the 172 16, and then for this one I did 172.17. So 172.17, when I was trying to access my UNRAID my file shares, I couldn't connect to them. I couldn't figure out why. So troubleshooting that was fun. But basically, because UNRAID didn't know how to get to the 172.17 range, because that's the Docker IP, I wasn't able to communicate. So it's not a fault on this guy here. It was just a fault on my IP address scheme. So I just moved it down to, I think I used 21 or something like that for the second octet. But it was easy to connect to. The LAN ports are super nice because then you can just plug in. Like I brought my laptop with me, so I could plug directly into that for troubleshooting and doing like those types of things. I guess I didn't really need to. I could just log on to the Wi-Fi, but it's still a nice feature to have. That way you're directly plugged in. You don't have anything like that. We kept it in the room with us the whole night, or the whole trip, and it was running, and you can't hear it at all. There's no whine to the fan. Overall, very good experience just having it in the room with us. No issues there. The lights are not bright, keeping you up at night, anything like that. The only downside that I really have about this router is that the distance that the Wi-Fi signal reaches is pretty weak. It felt like down when we were vacationing. It felt like I couldn't connect if I was downstairs of the house that we were staying in. I couldn't connect to, like, it just kept dropping. The signal was really weak. I probably could have switched to using 2G. I'm not sure if I tried that or not, which probably bumped it up a little bit versus 5G. But yeah, I just thought that the 5G signal strength could have been better on these things. But speed was top notch. They had gigabit internet down where we were staying, and we were basically cruising through the tunnel back home out to a local server for any speed tests the test, the speeds were great. I had no problems there. The only thing was that the signal strength could have been better, I think. But yeah, overall, for I think they're on sale right now for less than $100. So for less than $100, having this travel router, I mean, you can't really go wrong in the sense that for $100, this is a steal. Yeah, you can get a Raspberry Pi for under $100, but then you have to set it up. If you're not into doing home network type projects, that I like having a Raspberry Pi. I like fiddling with OpenWRT and its full UI versus like the slimmed down, simplified version that the GL-iNet router has. It's a simplified, it's easier version. So if you want simple and you don't care about any of the frills or doing, and you're not a DIYer, you just want something that's going to work, this router is top notch. I'll leave a link in the description below directly to the product page so you can order it. I'm not affiliated. I didn't get this router sent to me. I bought this with my hard-earned money just to test it for myself before I even had a YouTube channel. So overall, if you're just a simple person that just wants something that works and you can travel with it and you can get back onto your home network, or just want something safe as you're traveling, this router is top-notch. So definitely recommend, if you're in the market for a travel router and you don't want to break the bank and you don't want to spend a whole bunch of time configuring something that you're only going to use once a year or whatever, maybe once every other year. So overall, really good. So that's my thoughts. Back from vacation, so I can start pumping out content finally again. So it's definitely stay on the lookout for other videos around travel routers. We got to finish up our Cloudflare videos. So stay tuned. If you like the content that we're going for, if you like the vibes, if you just want to follow along on the YouTube journey, I would greatly appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel. And if not, I'm glad that you're here and I'm glad you stuck with us, and I'll see you guys in the next video.